All right, welcome to Dean Bodie Show. Dean Bodie Show. How's it going? DeanBodie.com website. You got the link on there to go over to the podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get podcasts, and the social link gets you over to the YouTube channel. DeanBodi space show is our YouTube channel. And remember, 800-878-9698, Bodie Hotline. She's checking messages, waiting for that phone to blow up. It's coming. For that tidal wave is coming. And she's ready, and I'm ready, and we're ready at Dean Bodie. So before we get started, good girl Bodie, good girl Bodie. She's the best girl in the world. Hey! Man, today's a great day so far, and we're going down. Oh yeah. We're going to talk about items in the playground. We're going to talk about paper airplanes and paper puppets. Do you remember going back in school? You know what? I'm even going to touch base on, I think his name was Mr. Keeny's music class. And let me tell you, the musical instruments, let's just get into it right now. The musical instruments that we got into at that class, it was like, can you bring out any worse instruments on the planet? Oh, here, Billy, here's the triangle. You take that. Hey, Susie, you come over here and play these things with beads on it, and you just shake them around when I tell you when to. And, hey, Mikey, come over here. I'm going to give you this washboard, and when I say when, you just scrub up and down on it, okay? And let me see. We got the accordion. Hey, Steve, come on over here. And you just do this thing, stretch it in and out, and press on the buttons and make some noises, and we'll pass out some other stuff that didn't even look like instruments. The worst orchestra in the world. Bing! The triangle. Okay, some things are not meant to be musical instruments, okay? Yeah, you can go bing, 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 and it all sounded the same on each side. Or you can go inside and go like a crazy person like that. Pretty much it. Accordion, you do this, you push the buttons. Hee-haw, hee-haw. Sounds like a donkey on steroids. And you got something that looked like a maraca, but it wasn't. You take a stick and go up and down these beads. Someone's scrubbing up and down on the washboard. It sounded horrible, but that was the class, and it passed time, and it was better than doing algebra, I guess. And you wonder why, referring to the last episode, we were shooting erasers across the room. We were doing other stuff, you know, making paper airplanes and paper puppets. Man, because, you know, for the most part, it was boring. Okay, 6th grade, 5th grade was pretty boring. To the point where I think I did summer school in both of those years. My summer school stint started in 5th grade, boys and girls. I ruined my summers time and time again because I just did not want to bring homework home. Don't you have any homework today, Dean? Oh, no, we did it all in school, Ma. Oh, okay. Hey, Millie, you remember when you were in elementary school? Did you do your homework? No, I never did. Okay. Remember show and tell? I'm telling you, I took paper airplanes, and I did paper puppets, did the airplane at kind of another level. And you're probably looking at me like, oh, sure you did. You can't beat my airplane. You don't even know what you're talking about. Get ready. First, a little show and tell. We start with the basic airplane, okay? Here's the design of the basic airplane. But the kid here, I need a little scotch tape, which I don't have right now. But, and we're not going to show the thing go in flight because that's just showing off too much. But this thing on its own would do some damage, just as this is. But you take it another level, huh? This inserts into this guy, and then you end up with the bomber. Whoa, this thing, you get the tape on this, and you get it dialed in. You can't kind of throw it as hard, but when this thing coasts, this thing's coasting all the way across the classroom. Huh? Check it out. Check it out. Huh? Dropping airplane knowledge on Dean Bodie. Dropping paper airplane knowledge. Oh, yeah. That being said, the paper puppet. Oh, did he bring one of those too? Oh, yes, he did. Look what I used to do in school. You wonder why I spent my time in summer school. How? She's a good girl, Bodie. She's the best girl in the world. She's the good girl, Bodie. Yeah, she's the best girl in the world. Ho! DeanBodie.com. 800-878-9698. Leave something funny and cute on there. We'll use it on our show. We'll make it a feature. We'll ping pong off of your stuff. We'll talk about what you were good at in arts and crafts. All right, hand puppet time. Get ready. So what do? Well, you kind of start folding it like you're making you can make a fan. Remember the fans? I almost made one of those too. When AC went out in school and you made those paper fans, you go one way, then backwards, forwards, and backwards until you get the fan made. It worked, but I didn't make one of those today. But I did make the hand puppet. So the hand puppet looks something like this. And you got the hair in the eyes. And you got the tongue and the teeth. I'm advanced. Are you kidding me? Sometimes I would even, you see that tongue? I would take a little piece of paper and make like a little accordion thing, cut a hole in there with my school scissors and put it in there, glue it down, and the tongue, when you open the mouth, the tongue would come out like a snake. But this one, we're just drawing it on with marker. You put your fingers inside. I'm having so much fun doing this, you have no idea. And can you actually make it work? Can you make it work? Yes, you can. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Good girl, Bodie. Good girl. Good girl, Bodie. She's the best girl in the world. Ho! That's my puppet story. I hope you enjoyed my little show and tell today with my hand puppet and my advanced dropping knowledge on the paper airplane. You try it. Kind of feel like Mr. Rogers over here today, but this is Dean Bodie. So let's talk about the items in the playground, okay? You had your merry-go-round, right? Which could be like a death trap when you get one person on there, and let's say you didn't really like this kid that much, and you and your buddies would want to make him go super fast to the point where he probably fell off. The things you do as a kid. And you go around and you push the handles on that thing and make that thing go, and the more he screams stop, the faster you pushed it. That's not funny, because you can fall inside, and the bars in there were metal. It was not, come on. We were a little nutty back then, but all good, clean fun. The swing sets, remember the swing sets, this is advanced stuff too when you got to the advanced part, when you would swing that thing up so high, and you'd keep going to where basically the chains would kink. You would go so high after kicking and swinging as hard as you could, or maybe somebody was helping you push from behind. And the whole thing with that was, you're not going to go all the way around. But you wanted to get it to where you could let yourself come off of the seat and fly in the air and land in the sand. That was pretty cool, right? So that's kind of the swing set thing. And then you had these other things, other than the sandbox, whatever with the sandbox. But these kind of things that were on springs, little animal-looking things, horsey or some kind of frog face thing or whatever. I remember living in this townhouse in Florida, and they had a little bit of a playground set up there, and all they had was two of those springy things inside the park. It's like, oh, you didn't spare any expense putting that together, did you? Thanks for the $5 playground. I mean, come on, seriously? So other than that, you had the slide, of course, that you would go down, which if you wore shorts and it was a hot day and it was that metal slide or a hot plastic, did not feel good on the skin. All right, let's be honest. So, that's kind of it with the playground stuff. I did have a jungle gym at the house in Kendall, I remember. The one that looked like a lattice-shaped dome, and you would just crawl and climb all over that thing. That thing was pretty cool. And, playground stuff, man, was fun. Listen, it was an area to gather with your friends, gossip. Sometimes you'd, get into a fight with the one you didn't like, or you'd chase around one of the girls that you did like, or they would chase you around. Kind of like taking Bodhi to the dog park. Some dogs chase her around. Some dogs she likes to chase around. Some dogs she gets screams and yells at them, and other ones she rolls around and has a blast with. Just like humans, not everybody's going to like you. Some girls you chase around the playground. Some girls chase you around the playground. Then you scream around, cooties, cooties, cooties. And you put cootie protection on your arm and wrist, and you go, now I have CP or whatever, cootie protection, and you'd be okay. How kooky is that? Terrified of the girls back then. You got the truth. It's the truth, man, when you're that young. But it was fun, man. You're growing up, you're playing all these silly games. That's all you really think about. And that's my kind of 1, 2, 3 on that. Everybody's working for the weekend. Everybody wants a new romance. Yeah, 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 yeah. Everybody's going off the deep end. Everybody wants a second chance. You want a piece of my heart? You better start from the start. Oh, man, a little sing-along from a band called Loverboy. As I said on the teaser, it was the Get Lucky album with the red leather pants, the fingers crossed behind the back. When I said I wore out a couple of those tapes, meaning I played that tape so much that I just wore it out and ruined the tape. So I had to buy another one and wore that one out also. These were Fort Lauderdale Strip songs, man. Come on. Get Lucky. The Kid is Hot Tonight. Oh, come on. I can go on and on with that band. Great time. So that being said, I want to check something else out here because we don't like to shortchange anybody on Dean Bodie Show. Oh, man. Oh, God. Listen. Okay, here we go. Here we go! We got to talk about some old school. They're not bicycles, all right? And they're not those little red cars you get in that had the pedals inside that moved at like a snail's pace, but you look like you were in a fire truck. Yay! Yay! You can go faster walking. We're talking about the big wheel. And the big wheel came out, it was a game changer. And then when the big wheel came out, I made a mistake on the teaser saying hand grip. I didn't mean hand grip. I meant the hand brake. The brake that came out on the back wheel was a game changer so you could power slide. Oh, man. And then all of a sudden, someone comes out with this thing called the green machine and changed everything. The front end was longer, the front wheel was bigger, and that little beast was faster than the big wheel. I got news for you. But you would peel out on this thing, and what a cool little thing that was, man. And unbelievable. Toys like Stretch Armstrong. Okay? You remember Stretch Armstrong? It was this dude that you would just stretch, and that's all his purpose was. To see how far you could stretch his arms, and then you watch him spring back and come back to normal again. But the big wheel, the green machine, Stretch Armstrong, these were awesome. You got to get into a little bit of the G.I. Joe. Okay? If you like playing like the Army toys and all that stuff, it was kind of fun, And you had the little cannon that would shoot like little balls or whatever from what I remember. And you'd play little Army games with all that. But the G.I. Joe came out, and then the G.I. Joe came out with the Kung Fu grip. Doesn't do the not the Shiba Fu Kung Fu like we do over here. And we don't do that. We don't do the Kung Fu Panda. We do Kung Fu Lizard like we talk about. We don't do Crouching Tiger. We do Crouching Tree Frog. We've demonstrated that many times on the Dean Bodie Show. So that being said, Stretch Armstrong was kind of boring. Didn't really do much there, and you know, you, talking about things like that and thinking about elementary school and stuff like that, you got to think about things like chalkboards and the old school chalkboards. And we had a kid in class, and this is serious stuff. This is going back to Arvida Junior High, and we had kind of a arena-shaped classroom, and they started it was a new school, and they started making it look better, not just a flat classroom. They were upgrading and making things a little more fancy schmancy. But this kid loved to eat chalk. He would grab the chalk, the white chalks, and just eat them. I don't know where this kid is now, but I have a feeling he's inside a padded room. Okay? But you remember the old school erasers, and you'd have to clean them by banging them and all this stuff. I mean, I don't know. Those days were just simpler times, man. I just would like to go revisit that for a weekend. With all the stuff that's going on now, COVID, schmovid, pandemic, schmandemic, I hope this is like a breath of fresh air for you. And, it's a little shining light in your day. Take your mind off of all of the, oh man, don't get swallowed up in the news. Don't bathe in that because it's going to mess with your head. Don't do it. Come to the Dean Bodie Show. Remember, DeanBodie.com is the website. Dean Bodie Show, DeanBodi space show, YouTube channel, and Dean Bodie Podcast, wherever you get podcasts, at Apple and Spotify and Google and Stitcher, all the main ones. And I just joined a new one called TuneIn that I heard from a little birdie that's flying around. That's the new kid on the block or whatever. So I jumped on that one. I made sure my iHeartRadio was sent in. We sent in the one for the Pandora, and we're on all the platforms. I don't know. I thought I was on the iHeartRadio before I was saying it. And then I went in there, and something went awry. So I had to resubmit. But we'll get on there. We're on the main ones where it's like 99% of everything on there. Then you got the other ones that are following suit. Because with what's going on, podcast community is growing. Dean Bodie is growing. Just got a stat, 500 downloads, on the podcast, and we're growing. Hey, we just coming on board here. We're just getting warmed up. We're doing show and tells now. Are you kidding me? Come on, we're doing show and tells. Paper puppets, man. Yo! Dean Bodie. DeanBodie.com. Dean Bodie Podcast. Wherever you get podcasts. Dean Bodie Show. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, too much fun. I'll give you one more flash of the plane because it's worth doing. I haven't made one of these in a while, but you know what? It was like riding a bike. It was like as soon as I started doing it, it all came right back to me. The basic plane, we start with this. This design in itself, there's other flat designs, more square, that are more loop-de-loop and trick planes. But this one is the one you want to launch that flies all the way across the classroom. You get the larger version, not quite as folded up as this one, and you insert it into that one. And you end up with the big dog. This is the cruiser. This is the stealth bomber, okay? Look at the back of that thing. And the wind, you blow into it, get it ready to go. Make sure you got a little tape on there. And this thing's ready for flight, man. I had a lot of fun doing that today. And listen, be careful on the swing sets and all the merry-go-rounds and all those little springy this and that. Oh, the seesaw. Watch out for the seesaw. You want to go on the seesaw with somebody that's kind of your size and your weight. Obviously. Otherwise, it's not going to be any fun. You get on there with Big Jimmy that I used to know in the apartments in Miami. This kid was a really big kid. Okay, we're going to go there. All right. Jimmy, wherever you are, I love you, man. You and your brother Mike were awesome. And we used to have some fun. But Big Jim was Big Jim, okay? This kid, but his personality was awesome. He liked collecting comic books. He loved Conan the Barbarian. I was a Daredevil fan, not just because my initials are the same, but he's the man without fear. And I went along with that, man. He was wild. Daredevil's my guy. And you don't want to get on Big Jim with the seesaw because he's going to sit on one end and you're not going to make him move. He's not budging. It's not happening. He's 3 of you, if not 4. But we used to play this game in the pool. And there was some of these characters in comic books where one guy, his superpower was you would see him go poof. And then he could just, like when you went to punch him, if he went poof, he'd disappear and then end up on the other side of the street. And then someone else would come by, try to hit him. He'd go poof and then fly on the other side of the street. And you couldn't get him. So Jimmy decided when we used to play superheroes in the pool, and we'd wrestle pretty hard against each other, hold each other underwater, which I hate more than anything. Anytime somebody held my head under the water, it would freak me out. Not good. I can hold my breath on my own, but when somebody's holding you down, you're like, it's a little bit terrifying. I'll never forget that. He got carried away a few times, and when you got Big Jimmy holding you down, it's like, okay, you can let me up now. But when I would come at him, he would say he was that one guy and go poof. So he's like, no, you can't hit me because when I say poof, I disappear. Cheater. Big time cheater. Anyway, that's my Big Jim story. Shout out to you, Jim, wherever you are. Love and prayers to your family. Great memories, man. We had some great times doing stupid crap like that. And we would make up stuff like that. That's how we would do things back in the day. That's part of the fun, you know? Go into that comic book fantasy kind of thing. Look, man, do yourself a favor. I've done I get that ocean wave thing on the album. It's like just a bunch of ocean waves. And I put it by my ear. And if you're going to take a power nap and you put that there and close your eyes and disappear for a little while, take yourself on vacation for a few minutes. I promise you'll forget about everything. It does something to you like you're right by the ocean. And do it. Take a 20-minute power nap. Recharge. It's healthy. Your body heals when it rests. Dr. Dean dropping knowledge. It's the truth. You need quality sleep, you know? And that's the bottom line. Take advantage of stuff like that, you know? You have to run yourself ragged. If you're feeling a little tired, your body needs some rest. Listen to your body, what it's telling you, all right? So, have an awesome day. We're doing this daily at Dean Bodie because life comes at you daily, not weekly or monthly. And Dean Bodie Show. DeanBodie.com. Dean Bodie Podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get podcasts. Dean Bodie Show, DeanBodi space show, YouTube channel. Dean at DeanBodie.com. Email. Blast over an email. We'll do a back and forth. We'll have a little fun. Whatever you need, we're here for you. We're coming at you every single day. 800-878-9698, Bodie Hotline. Awesome. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye now.